Hi everyone. As for my Jeep to warm up on my way to the gym very early on this cold morning, I wanted to talk about hair. As anybody who's gone through bariatric surgery knows, hair loss is a real concern. I personally used to have beautiful, thick hair, and then in my late 20s it started to thin, and I kept saying to my family and my friends, I'm gonna be that old lady with the bald spot and I'm gonna have to wear wigs because it's noticeably thin. And then after surgery it's gotten substantially worse. Let's see, my hair is up now for the gym, but if you could see how thin it is in this area, this is like, this isn't effective hair, but that's it. And so it's very, very thin, specifically here. So I went looking into wigs and options because I really don't like what's happening. The other thing that I've noticed since surgery is so my hair was long, but it was thinning more after surgery. It was coming out in clumps, so I cut it off, and then so I cut it to about here, and then a few months later I cut it a little bit shorter, and I think I cut it up to here. And that was a good 6 months ago, maybe longer, and my hair has barely grown. Like it's barely touching my shoulders. So it's like, it's not only is it thinning, but it's not growing. So I went and I started Googling wigs and hair pieces and treatments and all of that, and I came upon a lady in Calgary who does scalp testing, because the theory is that if you have unhealthy hair, there's probably, aside from the genetic part of it, there's probably something in your diet, or something in your scalp. You need a healthy scalp in order to have healthy hair. And if you have a healthy scalp, then you need to check and see and make sure you have all the vitamins and minerals and your diet is okay. And if that's okay, then you check something else. And so there's a lot of explanations other than genetics, for hair loss. So I went to her, and she did a test. So you go through all these questions about, your age, your diet, experiences, things that you notice about your hair, and then she puts a camera and looks at the roots of your hair, and then she tests the sebum levels. Now, sebum sounds like a really funny word, but it's basically just oil buildup. And what she found on my scalp was that the sebum levels in this area were much higher than anywhere else on my head. And it is possible, although not confirmed, not 100%, like this is your absolute issue. However, high sebum levels causes your the pores in your scalp to clog and prevent not only regrowth but hair growth. So when she put the camera up against my head, you could see the healthy hairs that are already there, but the ones that are growing up new, they're kind of thin and they're wavy and they're wiggly and they're not healthy at all, and they're essentially dead. And so they're not going to contribute to a healthy hair. And because the levels here were much higher than anywhere else on my head, because everywhere else on my head, my hair is, I mean, not as thick as it was, but it's not thinning. It's just here on the crown that my hair is thinning. So she recommends, you know, they have, of course, she has specialized kits and products, and here you use this for 5 weeks and you use this for 4 weeks, and it's hundreds of dollars. I'm not opposed to trying those, but I wanted to try a few things on my own first, and see, because sebum levels, it's a known issue. Like you can get cleansers for your face. For anybody who has oily skin, oily buildup that results in acne, they tell you to remove the sebum levels. So I've done a little bit of research on sebum, not a whole lot because I'm really busy. It's warm, so I'm gonna start driving. But essentially, sebum levels can, like I said, it can stop the hair from growing new. It can stop the hair from the existing hair from growing longer. It weighs the hair down, and so I looked into the best products to remove sebum for thin, fine hair, which is what mine is. And the recommendation was, there's actually a whole thing about using salicylic acid to remove the sebum from your hair. Salicylic acid is something that they put into acne products, essentially to remove the oil from your pores. So, I mean, that might be I didn't want to go that route right away. Salicylic acid can be very drying on your skin. As somebody who is acne prone, I know that, and I didn't want to end up with a dry scalp. They recommend using a combination of salicylic oil and salicylic acid and coconut oil to remove the buildup but also moisturize your scalp. That seems a little bit complicated. So I don't have time to play arts and crafts for my head. So I looked up the best market-based product that's already there. There's an Aveda product which you can get, which I might get later if the product that I have doesn't work. But they also recommended for fine, thin hair, the Neutrogena anti-buildup. So it's specifically made to remove the buildup from your scalp and your hair. They say to use it once a week and you'll notice a difference in your shampoo. So I have bought that to see if that works. Now, the other thing is, the more you wash your hair, the more oil your scalp is going to produce. So they say not to wash your hair more than a few times a week. I only wash my hair 2 to 3 times a week. I try to, but I use dry shampoo a lot. The reason being is it's so fine and there's a lot of sebum, so it looks oily. So I'm gonna try not to use too much dry shampoo, but it's gonna happen. But I only wash it. I'm only gonna wash it once a week with the Neutrogena buildup, maybe twice a week. The other times that I do wash my hair, or that I'm in the shower, which is like pretty much every day or every other day, is the use of apple cider vinegar. So the recommendation that I've gotten online and through some forums that I've read is that apple cider vinegar is the best way to just cleanse your hair. You don't need shampoos and conditioners that leave buildup. Apple cider vinegar will cleanse and moisturize your hair. So my plan right now, to see if I can do something with this crazy thinning hair of mine, is to use the Neutrogena maybe twice a week for the first couple of weeks, just to get the sebum levels under control, and then just spray it with apple cider vinegar the other times, just to cleanse and moisturize. And then after a couple of weeks, I'll use the Neutrogena once a week and apple cider vinegar every other time. But I'm still only going to wash my hair 2 to 3 times a week. I'm not going to wash my hair every day. And then I'm gonna give it a month or 2 and see what happens. I'm gonna try not to use any other products in my hair. Dry shampoo is a must if I'm not washing my hair all the time and it's still really oily. So dry shampoo will be the only thing that I use. And that's it. And we'll see what happens with the regrowth and the thickness and see if it works. And then we'll go from there. So that's my rant, or that's my information on thinning hair. Surgery does make it worse, but for anybody who already has thinning hair or is looking at hair loss prior to surgery, take this into consideration. So it could be the products that you're putting on your hair and on your scalp that's preventing your hair from growing and causing it to fall out. So there you go. The more you know. So wish me luck, and I'm on my way to the gym. Cheers.